Logan is going to be commissioner for a day in the NBA. The changes he's going to make, I'll let you take it away and just do as much damage as you can to this league. We'll see what you can do with it. Go ahead.
So for time constraints, I didn't list every possible thing I could think of. And feel free to chime in, disagree, agree with me at any point, because there might be some really outlandish takes here.
I'm ready for it.
Okay, to start. So the NBA currently plays an 82-game season. I would reduce that to 66. Now, that was the same amount of games as the lockout year. If you recall, that was back in
2011-12, yeah.
2011-12 season. So we have talked about in the past that there is just the NBA has a rivalry problem. NFL, name a rivalry. Bears-Packers. Bears-Packers. Cowboys-Eagles. That MLB, name a rivalry.
Yankees-Red Sox. Padres-Dodgers. Like, that has heated up big time.
And what do both those rivalries have in common? They're divisional matchups. NBA divisions have been made irrelevant. The only thing divisions mean anymore, the only thing that they do is that they guarantee you play that team 4 times a year. And then the rest of the East, you either play 4 or 3 times. It rotates each year. The division teams, you just play 4 times a year. So I am changing this from 82 to 66 games. You play 4 divisional games like normal, and you play 2 games against the West, but I'm changing it for the rest of the East. You only play those teams twice, just like the West. I'm talking strictly for an Eastern Conference team. I forgot to say that. Like, I'm thinking of the Celtics or the Heat or the Pacers perspective. So why I do this? Brings back rivalries. Like I said, you play a division team 4 times more than anybody else. I'm going to read these off to you. So NFL, they play 6 divisional games a year. That's 35% of the team's games are divisional games. MLB, it's 32.1% of the team's total games in a year are divisional games. Current NBA is 19.5%. To me, that's a big contributor. That's a contributor to why there's no rivalries. There's not much bad blood between these close teams.
Everybody's too friendly.
Everybody's too friendly. There needs to be some more blood boiling. Now, this would only increase it to 24.2%, but it's better than 19%. So I do like that. You can also spread out games more. I'm not calling for the NBA to change when they start the year. I think it's good where it starts, right around Halloween. Ends first or second week of April, because you don't want to run the playoffs during March Madness. That's good. Keep All-Star Weekend the way it is. I mean, we could go a whole segment of how to change that. I think it's a lost cause at this point, so just keep it the way it is. But no back-to-backs. 2 to 3 game break in between each game. You can have less games on each day, so potentially more TV viewership for the few games that are on each day. And I think it'll help also reduce load management. Less games, more to play for. With that amount of with the less amount of games to 82. 66 is 16 less than 82. What isn't it like 65's the how much you have to play to be like
eligible for
awards?
Yeah.
So just put that number at 66. That kind of puts it right there. So that's my big seasonal difference.
I like it.
When it comes to the playoffs, I think we've talked about this before, but definitely change the first round of best of 5. There's just no reason to watch 1 seeds beat up an 8 seed 4 times. I actually have a semi-hot take. I think keep the play-in. I think you should keep it. I think it gives teams more to play for at the end of the year. When you don't want too many teams tanking at the end of the year. So if there's a couple teams still vying for a spot, I think that helps the league a little bit. Are the play-in games fun? Not really, but it prevents less teams from tanking, in my opinion. And then going on with that, this also makes divisions key. Division winner, automatic top 3 seed for division winners. So when you're playing more division games, I think now it's like the NFL. Winning the division's an achievement. You should be rewarded for that. So I think, the top 3 seeds for each conference should be division winners. And then the 4th seed is the best wild card's the wrong word. The best second place team also gets home court advantage for that first round. And Yeah, I mean, it just once again goes back to the rivalries thing. That means you hate your division opponents more. You got to beat them to earn that top 3 seed. And yeah, I go look at the NFL's formula for that. So
Yeah, I love when leagues like section off the competition within divisions, and the way that MLB and NFL have done that for decades. Um, I love when divisions matter. So yeah, definitely love that the automatic. Yeah, love
yeah. Okay, now I trimmed some of this down because there's just so much, but
that.
I'm not. It's easy to sit here and criticize officials, but to be frank, their job is hard. Like there's just the NBA game is so fast paced, so physical. It's hard to get every call right. But I'm going to put some rule changes in here, mostly to benefit the defense. But I do have one here that helps the offense more. So defense was I think this was like 2002 when they first implemented this, and I still don't like it. No more defensive 3-second violations. So the argument is that people are going to say, well, if defenses are more in the paint, it already has a 3-point shooting problem where too many teams shoot threes. So if they're in the paint, they're going to shoot more threes. And I say, actually, I don't think that's the case. A lot of those threes are because the defense isn't in position in the paint yet. So when someone drives into the lane and the defense has to go guard him, that leaves the 3-point shooter wide open, kick out, hit a three. I think getting rid of the defense in 3 seconds means the defenses are going to A, protect the paint, and B, more protect the 3-point line. So I think it'll be less 3-point shots. It'll force guys to develop a mid range, which I think is really it's kind of fun to watch, honestly. A mid range jumper, if guys can get that. I'm thinking Kawhi. Kawhi Leonard was so good at that in the late 2010s. Like he could get to, and SGA now is pretty good at that too. But yeah, that's the only league I think that does it. I don't know about the Euro leagues and stuff, but high school and college obviously don't do that.
Right.
I also think the NBA lately has done a horrible job developing big men. The best big men are now all shooting threes, minus, well, Jokic shoots threes too, but
Wemby is 7'3", 7'4", and he's out
yeah,
shooting 9 threes a game.
yeah. Miles Turner is a perfect example of this. Early in his career, he was a perfect post player. Like, he was a great post player, but now he couldn't back down. Like, the Thunder's 6'8" defenders, he'd step out of bounds, and NBA's just done a horrible job developing big guys. Like, it's all
The league needs Akeem Olajuwon camp where all the big men go to
yeah.
work on
But
post
I think
footwork.
but if defenses are more concentrated in the paint, that's going to have to make the offense develop. Oh, post play again, and honestly, I think that's fun to watch. So that's another aspect that's fun to watch. What else did I say? Okay, so this is just more of an emphasis, but going into this year that I'm commissioner, focus more on the offensive players initiating contact rather than calling automatic fouls on defense. Um, a lot of times, defensive guys are in position, and you see an offensive guy initiate the contact, causing the defender to kind of have to change position, leading to a foul. I mean, you can't make a rule change, but you can make an emphasis to the officials. Yeah, like maybe pay more attention to that. This includes push-offs, obviously, but honestly, guys just getting in the paint, defenders square straight up, and then offensive guy kind of gets into him and goes up.
Right. So are you saying call that on the offense or no call?
No, more no call. More no call. Push-offs need to get called. I think they need to bring that call back. I don't know. They've swallowed their whistle just everywhere in the NBA on that call. Actually, they've kind of done that for a while because you could argue Jordan got away with that. His game winner against the Jazz.
1998.
Yeah. Okay. Okay, I got two more benefiting the defense. This is the worst rule in basketball because I don't see any reason why this rule exists unless you can tell me. And this is in college too because high school doesn't normally have a shot clock. Why does the shot clock reset after a kicked ball violation? There is no scenario where the offense did something good when the play ends up as a kicked ball violation. So why does the shot clock reset? I understand why they take it out of bounds. Obviously, if there's a kickball, stop play, offense gets the ball back. That's fine. Why do you bail out the offense by resetting the shot clock? I mean, I've never heard anyone talk about that, but I've never heard anyone explain why that's the rule. Like sometimes you see, oh, they got bailed out there by that kickball. Why is that a rule?
Right.
Like, how does that? Nothing the offense did made them deserve to get a shot clock reset.
Yeah.
They made a
That
bad
doesn't make
pass.
sense.
They made a bad pass, or the defender made a good play to stop the possession. Yeah, why did he get rewarded for that? Okay, now this is my very controversial one. I've always kind of been against this rule, and a lot of people are for it. But this year just put me over the top. Like, yeah, we just gotta do something about this. I am completely for now just getting rid of continuation fouls until they do something. They don't know how to call it. Like back in the 2010s, like I remember watching like LeBron's Heat, and like guys would get fouled at the 3-point line, take 2 dribbles, do a layup. They call it a shooting foul and one. I'm like, man, I don't like that. I slightly understand why, because yeah, the defender may have prevented a layup by fouling, but I don't like it. That's just too far away from the basket. You never know if you would have like kicked it out instead of shooting a layup.
It's
then
supposed to be on their gather, right? If they pick up the ball in their dribble and they're getting fouled, then that's whenever.
That's what they say. And then but then this playoffs, I've seen guys not even attempting a shoot, and they're calling
There were a couple really bad ones. I know exactly what you're talking about.
There are some horrible ones. Guys aren't even shooting. They're in the paint, dribbling towards the basket. They get fouled. They take another dribble and fall down or something. Clear foul, clear, take it out of bounds, or shoot 2 free throws if you're in the bonus. No scenario where that's a shooting foul. That happened multiple times this playoffs. That's why I think this rule's gotten so out of control. They just need to get rid of it. I'm not saying this is permanent. I just think they should experiment with getting rid of it and see if it improves things. I know college is kind of moving towards implementing this, and I don't like that because it honestly just adds more on the officials' plate, makes the game seem more controversial because it's called too inconsistent. That's why I just say don't call it at all. It's too inconsistent right now until you can come up with a better rule to get it. So just a couple more things. Well, I just got 2 more things. One, my rule change to benefit the offense. Get rid of no more off-ball charges. So when I say this is more about like when you see a replay and like away from the ball, you see a guy just making a cut, and then a defender stands in front of him and falls over, and they call an offensive foul. Okay, that's not defense, and that's not. No one's out of control. He's just You're allowed to move, especially without the ball. You're allowed to move in basketball. You should not. Yeah, there's no. It makes me mad when I see that, especially. So I'm all for moving screens. They should be called more often because I feel like so many moving screens get uncalled. But like when a guy screens and then he's done screening and turns and like tries to cut, and then he runs into a guy and he falls over.
Yeah.
That's not a foul. The screener is allowed to move after he's screened. Like he has personal space. He's not trying to foul you. He's just trying to move.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think
agree.
they should just not. They should either call it a flop warning or just call nothing, or maybe even call a defensive foul because like he was in the offensive guy's space.
Right.
But in no scenario should that be an offensive foul, in my opinion, unless he throws an elbow or something. Okay, my last take, and this is a flaming hot one. And yeah, so I'm not very old. I'm only 25, but this is a huge boomer take. Like this is something like older fans would say, and this is all about improving the league. This is about getting more people to watch it, all that. NBA uniforms should go back to just one home, one away, and one alternate. So I do not want to. When I turn on TV and I see the Memphis Grizzlies wearing red uniforms and the Milwaukee Bucks wearing blue uniforms, or the Spurs wearing teal uniforms, or the Heat wearing those Miami Vice uniforms, they may look good. That's not your team colors. It's amazing. Like you turn on a game and like you'll see these. Like before looking at the scoreboard, this is talking about regular season game, and you see these 2 teams running up down the court. Like, wait, who's the home? Who's the away? Who are these teams? And then you're like, what?
Even in the finals, like the Thunder wore their blue uniforms at home plenty of times.
So I do have something to say about that. One home, one away, one alternate. I hate when the away team wears white. That makes no sense to me. I don't mind when both teams wear away uniforms as long as they're contrasting. Like, I didn't mind the Thunder wearing their blue at home. Like, I don't mind that. I just think, the away team should never wear white. The away team should always wear their alternate, which shouldn't be anything crazy. It should just be like the reverse of your colors, think of an example. If you're the Lakers, the Lakers, you got a yellow jersey and you got a purple jersey and a white jersey.
Get rid of the black one.
unless you like get rid of like one of the purple or yellow and make it black. Like, black can almost work for any team. But yeah, it bothers me. I'm glad they make it more strict in the playoffs, where you kind of have to wear your main jersey,
base uniforms.
Your base uniforms. I like that. It should be like that in the regular season. Since Nike's taken over, it's gotten way out of control. Half the time, I don't know who I'm watching. Why are you wearing colors that aren't even in your logo, and they're not even throwback uniforms? What is going on?
Right.
I'm especially for people my age, I'm well in the minority on this position, but I would do this if I was the commissioner.